Hello world, I am Kronos. Welcome. So today I was thinking what to talk about, and I came to the realization that when I get no questions, it's really hard to find something specific. Like coming up with content, it's just not me. I mean, I'm not trying to sell anything, I'm not trying to create anything for me, really. So how do I come up with, how do I know what people want to talk about? Because that is ultimately what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to talk about stuff that other people find valuable and important and could help them in some way in their life. So how do you do that? How do you know what to talk about, what people care about? You have to keep asking these questions. And when you don't get questions, because usually people come up to me with their problems and with questions, and that inspires me to talk about that issue because they care about it. And so I thought to myself, well, just find objectively something, anything. Talk about anything that has something with humanity, being human, and that has to be. I mean, that connects us, right? We're all human, so if we talk about something that is true for all of us, then there has to be some people that find value in it because it's a part of them too, right? So anger. Anger. We talked about hate and how it is a manifestation of love, a misunderstood love. And not reciprocative love. Like when you love and you don't get the love back, it's when you feel hate, even if you don't understand it yourself. But let's talk about anger. My eye is itching. Anger. What is the purpose of anger and where is it from? And how does it manifest and why? Well, anger is a result of frustration, right? And it doesn't have to be, but it is a result of frustration. You get angry when you feel misunderstood, mistreated, misjudged, when you feel like you're not getting the respect or when you feel like you are being undermined or mistreated, as we said. The point is, there could be many reasons for you to feel frustrated, but it doesn't have to anger you, right? Most of us, and I am guilty of this, and this is why I'm thinking about this, because I do have an anger issue that I'm working on. And the thing is, when you understand, because there are not many things that anger me these days. You would have to be extremely important to me and trigger find really specific trigger points. Because usually I try to understand where it's coming from. So naturally, when I am feeling that way, I try to look at it from the other person's perspective. And when you do that, you come to the conclusion that it doesn't stem from evil. It's usually their own demons and their own problems. It's always their own problems that cause them to treat other people as they do. So it stems from weakness, really. And when you understand that, it comes from weakness and a need for power, a need to feel like somebody. When you understand that, then you can no longer be angry at them, because you understand them. And anything you understand, you can't be mad at. So, frustration, because back to frustration, the thing is, if you're frustrated about something and your response to that is anger, might be anger, it doesn't have to. See, if you find yourself getting angry at anything, really, if you want to go down to it, you should first of all acknowledge that you have an anger problem, because ultimately nothing should anger you. Nothing at all. Anything that angers you is a result of frustration. Frustration is a result of misunderstanding, being misunderstood, etc. But when you understand where the behavior of the other person comes from, then it has a then you can't be angry as well, because you don't get frustrated. Because if I understand you, you don't frustrate me. I'll give you a simple example. When I was younger, my girlfriend, I surprised her at her work. She was working at a bar, and it was the night, it was the end of her shift. And I thought to myself, how cool would it be if I surprised her at work just when she's finishing work, so that we can continue the night in the bar. And when I came there and she saw me, and she was happy to see me, but then she got really angry at me. And she told me that, why are you coming right? Like, why are you coming now? I have to go, like, and I have to wake up tomorrow morning. I can't stay. And she was getting really angry, and I was just quiet. And later that, like, she went home. I stayed, of course. I stayed and partied with a friend, and I don't remember who else. But when I got home, we were chatting, we were on WhatsApp, whatever, and we talked on the phone. And she told me she's frustrated. She got angry at me for visiting. Just get the idea. She got angry at me for surprising her at her work. That's kind of weird. Like, she found the negative in it, that she has to go, but that frustrated her. That's the point. It frustrated her that she had to go, and she took it out on me, because that's what we do, right? But she didn't understand. So when I explained to her, I told her what my intentions were. I was trying to surprise her, because I didn't know she had to wake up in the morning. I thought we could hang out, and I looked at the positive. Even if she couldn't stay, at least we met, and at least we said hi and we hugged, I looked at the positive, and she saw the other side, and she was frustrated that she couldn't stay. So when I explained it to her, she automatically felt compassion and love, and like she felt stupid, quote unquote. She isn't stupid. She just, felt like, oh, well, because you see the other side of it, right? And it changes your whole perspective. So we see life as we are, not as it is. And you choose to look at the positive or the negative, and you choose that. So that can help you a lot when something quote unquote bad happens to you. There is a quote, I think it's Confucius, I think said it. Probably, not sure, but I think it's Confucius, whatever. He said, if a lion chases me up a tree, I will deeply enjoy the view from the top. That's such a profound, interesting quote. What does it mean, really? Well, a lot of things. It's how I interpret it, but the way I see it, major, for the most part, make the best out of, first of all, be in the moment and find the best thing about it, right? Second of all, find the positive in the negative, in whatever you do. So in whatever happens to you. So if a lion chases you up a tree, like something, you're in danger, scared, you're like in a problem, there's so much negativity about it, right? You could die, but you choose to enjoy whatever you do have, and the view and that moment can be beautiful. So you can find beauty in ugliness, right? You can find beauty in bad situations. You can find the good in it. It's about perspective. And it's really interesting because, I mean, you look at it, you can have people, some people are born without arms, and with so many disabilities, and yet they have this amazing ability to find the positive, and so many times they are the happiest people, and they are the most positive people you can find, because they find, despite of their problems and what was quote unquote forced upon them, because it's not. We all choose our bodies before we are born, but we're not going to talk about that right now. The point is, you don't have to be frustrated, and when you find out what frustrates you, see, that is the question, because first of all, as we said, you have to catch yourself being angry. You have to catch yourself. You have to step out of yourself when you're in the moment and be like, whoa. Because when you do get angry, all you do is hurt yourself. You lash out at others, then they will automatically lash back or disconnect. So you create a distance between you and the environment, and you damage yourself, because it is your response, which is your interpretation to the frustration that you felt, which is the misunderstanding. So you want to understand, right? So you have to ask questions. Why does this anger me? Then we go to, it frustrates me, because, why? Because they disrespected me, because they don't respect my time, or maybe they never listen, or they treat me like that or like this. It could be so many reasons. We all each have our own different trigger points, basically, and some of them are more justified than others, you would say, if you look at it from the grand higher perspective, but some of it not really. Like at the summit, if you look at it from the highest place, it all matters, because the problem is not the problem is your reaction to the problem, right? So you ask yourself why, and you ask yourself honestly, as if you're asking someone else, and expect you're looking in the mirror. Don't judge yourself. Be like completely honest. Why does this frustrate me? Why do I care? Is the question. Okay, so let's say you're misunderstood or disrespected. Why does it anger you? Well, once you understand it, it no longer does, because what you should do at that point is, why do they behave the way that they do? And then you answer it from their perspective. You step out of yourself, you let go of the ego completely, and you look at it from their point of view. And when you do, you understand. See, I could get angry back at my ex-girlfriend and be like, she doesn't appreciate me, right? I could be like, what the fuck? I'm doing something fun and positive, like I'm surprising you're getting angry at me. Like, I was like, I could say, and especially back in the day, because I was like a short-tempered, I would be like, fuck that, you know? But no, we chose to understand and to ask, and it felt so much better, you know? It's so much better when you go to sleep at night and you didn't fight with anyone, you know? And you didn't have a encounter that made you feel bad. So you have to resolve it, and the way you resolve it is asking honest questions and letting go of the ego. That is the only real way. Otherwise, you're lying to yourself. And if you do not do that, and if you let it linger and you just ignore it and you let it stay, absolutely 100%, it will come back, and it will come back a lot worse, and in other ways, and in the same way, or just, but it will come back. So you should do it for you, first of all, not for anyone else. You do it for you. So I don't know why I'm so thirsty. By the way, this is lemon with sea salt or Himalaya salt. That's the only real way, the best way to drink water. You need that in your body, like the potassium and all, everything else inside of it, from the lemon and the salt. So when you ask these questions, and until you ask these questions, you will not have the answers. And it is subjective to you, and it is your obligation for yourself to solve this. Because when you get angry, you know, you're only hurting yourself. You feel that way. And being angry at someone is like drinking poison and hoping they die. I don't remember where I read this, but it's... You probably know this sentence. So there are other ways to respond to frustration. It doesn't have to be anger. And some people get sad. Some people get really inside themselves. They get really quiet, or like, or maybe they don't care. See, when I say they don't care, maybe they don't even, they fight it in other way, by other ways, like acting and just pushing it deeper inside and not dealing with it. But whichever way it is that you choose to react to it, know that it's a choice, and not know that it's a choice, and not only that, know that you can choose. See, as we spoke, you have to catch yourself in the moment. You have to catch yourself in the moment and tell yourself, stop. Stop. Don't react. Listen. If someone gets you angry, and by the way he speaks to you, you stop. When he does, you stop and you listen, and you ask yourself, and you try to listen and try to understand him, even though you get frustrated. That's the difficult part, but that's the important part. Once you realize, first of all, you realize that you get angry. Second of all, you catch yourself in the moment, and third, you choose not to react, no matter what. And you choose to understand where they're coming from, why they're saying what they're saying. And you contemplate on it, and you ask yourself honestly, because you have to understand it is you. Nothing has to bother you. Nothing at all in this entire world. Nothing has to bother you. You could be completely carefree. It is a choice. And what bothers us stems ultimately from our belief systems, because whatever you believe should be, and what doesn't how do you say, coincide, or like what doesn't fit the way you see the world, how it should be, will frustrate you, and then it could frustrate you. It doesn't have to. You don't have to care. You don't have to take it to the heart. You can let it go. You know, that is the ultimate thing. But if you want to make a change and you want to make a difference, and some things matter, you know, if someone hurts your family, if someone hurts, yes, you should be frustrated. It's natural, and you should do something about it. And so don't think that all emotions, anger, sadness, all of them, they're not bad things. They are motivators. They're telling you something is wrong. The only thing you should make sure really is that your belief system is true and aligned, because your belief is ultimately what orchestrates what will frustrate you, what will make you happy, etc. If you believe that you should be treated with a certain way, and you don't get that, you will be frustrated. If you believe that you are like, let's say you believe that you are very intelligent, and someone asks you a question, and that question is like, you feel like it belittles you, like you feel like, of course I know the answer to that, like why is he asking me such a stupid question? And you feel like he offended your intelligence. See, the issue is you. It's you. And that is your belief system, because you believe something. And not only you believe that you're smart, it's not only that, you believe that you interpret what he asked as a sign that of him thinking that you are not as intelligent as you think that you are. And not only that, that is your interpretation to how you believe that you, first of all, you have to care what he thinks, right? So it's a combination of everything. You take someone else's words and take them to yourself. You misunderstand their meaning. You don't understand where they're coming from and why they're talking or asking why they're asking, because it could be completely different. And at the same time, you react to your frustration by anger. So it's shame, and our brain is connected in a way that, for survival purposes, etc., that we develop patterns, and that is the amygdala, because you have to react in an instant in order to survive, or at least to used to. Nowadays you don't, and you want to have your cognitive, you want to have your consciousness strong enough and open enough, and you have to understand enough that you can control your emotions and not in a way that to stop them, in a way to understand them, so that you can use them to your benefit, because there's nothing wrong with anger. if you're being oppressed, you should be angry, you should be doing something about it, and that's what anger is ultimately. Just make sure, as I said, that the anger is justified. And then when you do, you can, and you understand, you can let go of that anger and act without anger. Just like the greatest fighters in the world, they don't get angry in their fight. That will, like, you have to stay stoic, right? You have to stay calm and collected, because that's when you're in control. When you are frustrated and angry, you lose control. And it could be good for violence, if we were speaking in general, like to drive you to acting physically. It could be positive, I guess. Like, I mean, if someone's house is getting robbed and you're a mom, and anger gets you to like defend your children in like a very fierce, and you're successful thanks to that anger, in which way you would never act in a different environment. So it completely out of your character, but you did it out of anger, and it saved your children or yourself. That's a positive, right? I mean, it's all neutral. It's how you use it, right? A knife is not a bad thing until you stab someone with it. Then it could be used for bad things, but it's not a bad thing in itself, right? So I have had an anger problem all my life, which is what drove me to make this video. Because I always felt different and completely alone and misunderstood by everyone, literally. So I would get angry a lot, frequently. And with time I learned, and I let go of that anger. And I still get angry and I still get frustrated. But this time I catch myself and I fix it for me and for my environment and everyone that I love. Because whatever you do to others, you do to yourself, right? And if you get angry at your wife or your kids or your friends, you're hurting them and you're hurting yourself at the same time, right? Because next time they will be, let's say that someone is late, your girlfriend is late, and you get angry at her. Well, you're creating a misunderstanding, a distance. She might comply, she might be afraid to be late when you go to pick her up anymore, and she might do something extra just not to be late. But do you really want your girlfriend to be scared and act differently because of being scared of you? Like, and is that something that you want? Because it could be turned the other way, you know? She could get frustrated and distance herself, or maybe fight with you about it. Maybe she gets angry. That's a not really positive way to do it. What you want to do is create understanding. Because once you create understanding, once you explain yourself, and not only that, because she might not even respect that. She might still be late. You have to realize, first of all, it's her problem, not you. And you will have to create a way so that you don't have to wait for her. Maybe she comes when she calls you when she's already ready. Maybe you wait a few more minutes. Maybe you communicate on the way there to know that, make sure that she's ready, or make sure that she tells you when she's absolutely ready, right? Like, you can create ways to communicate. And I know sometimes it could seem impossible with certain people, but you can do it. You can do it. You make the person feel understood first of all, and then you can do it. Because whatever it is that is doing that is creating that behavior, it's not about you. It's something they have to do with themselves. It's their behavior. So it doesn't have to frustrate you, right? So if your girlfriend is dead, you can set up, you can communicate it. Don't get angry. You can be assertive, you can be dominant, and you can be very straightforward with your approach. But once you get angry, you're really, instead of using the problem to create closeness and get closer and happier eventually and better your relationship and yourselves, your personal growth, you're doing the opposite. You're creating a distance, a misunderstanding, frustration, doubt, fear, anger, violence, even maybe sadness. It could be many. It all depends on how she interprets it as well. So is that what you want? So that's what you should be asking yourself. What is the result that I want? What is the best possible result? How do I fix this in a way that gets us closer and stronger? Once you start asking these questions, you will come up with the answers. But you have to be honest about it, completely honest, and you have to be willing to take your own judgment and judge yourself as if it's like, and take it, you know? Just embrace it. And know that it's all a lesson. Everything, just like we spoke about pain, it's all a lesson. The way you react, it's a lesson. It's something you have to learn about yourself. So treat it as such. Treat it as such. And that's when you start learning about those things and you start resolving them and understanding, you will feel so much better. So much better than, because you're growing, improving, changing. So many people live their entire lives and don't learn shit, you know? You came to this world to learn, to improve. If you don't do that, I wouldn't say you're wasting your time, because you're having an experience, but you're doing the side quests. Or maybe not even that. Maybe you're just fishing, you know? You're not even doing the side quest. So for a person it could be like the perfect, like ultimately there is nothing else, like existing is the goal, right? But you do have a job to do here, and I mean a job as in for yourself. Like the earth is a school, so you came here to learn something, so why not do that? So in order to learn, you have to ask questions. So ask questions and learn about yourself, because you will not know anything and anyone until you know yourself. Know thyself. It's such a simple and tiny and deep and important quote. Know thyself. Those who know themselves know the world. And knowing one's darkness is the best way to deal with others. I think Jung said that. Not sure. But that just jumped to my mind. I was looking at the other videos that I didn't watch them the entire thing, but I was sipping through it, the former videos, and I know that I don't look at the camera all the time, and I like most of the time I don't look at the camera. I'm looking, and I'm thinking, and it could frustrate me. I could be like, fuck, I need to make another video, 45 minutes. But no, it is what it is, because the thing is, I am thinking, like, what I'm speaking, I don't have any script and nothing, and I'm just going, and so and when I'm thinking, I'm like going inside my mind, so looking at the camera, and I can see myself here, and it's actually, I need to do something about it, and so I don't have to look at myself when I'm speaking, because that's not the point. I need to be authentic, coming from inside out. And that's why I'm looking everywhere, because it's automatic, my mind, and so I'm thinking, and I'm like, so I'm looking at the video, and I could get frustrated and angry, but I'm not. I accept it. It is what it is. If I have to, but then again, maybe it's something that I should work on, right? Looking more at the camera, because it could be a better communication. But I'm just gonna let it be authentic and real, and if I do change it, it will be naturally, But I am conscious about it, and I did learn from it. That's why it doesn't frustrate. So now I know that, okay, okay, so I need to look at the camera, maybe connect more with the, right? So I can fix it slowly, but I caught myself and I learned from it. And I chose not to let it frustrate me, because it could very easily, trust me, I mean, think about it, a 45-minute video, and I'm doing this raw one take, it's not like I'm doing 10 videos, I'm doing one, like at least so far, I'm just one video and just uploading it, whatever comes to mind, so recreating it and doing it, and just basically it's like trying to freestyle and create the same freestyle. It's just not that. It's not good. It's not authentic. It's not. So doing it is pretty much impossible, is what I mean, actually, because I said what I wanted to say at that moment. So if I had to remake all the videos because of that, that too could be a point of frustration, right? What if I had to do it? What if you did something and you have to redo it because it's not up to you even? You have to do it if you want to get to the objective that you want. What then? Well, let me tell you, even then it doesn't have to frustrate you. Look at it as an opportunity to learn and to do it again, do it better. You can do it better. Doesn't have to frustrate you. Say you were working on a project on your computer and you forgot to save, and it got deleted, and you lost 3 hours of work. You better laugh. You better laugh at it and not get frustrated and be like, because how does that do anything? Just laugh. Don't take life too seriously, Ultimately, I would say, instead of, once you understand something, the way to change is be radical about it. If something angers you, laugh about it. Not ironically, just be like, accept it and laugh about it and let it go. That would be the best reconstruction of the neurons network in your mind. When someone frustrates you, laugh. Reconstruct that. It takes about 21 days to reconstruct a circle of neurons, like habits, right? So you can do it really quick, and you can change the way you react to things, and you will feel so much better when frustration turns into laughter. Laugh about life. It's not that serious, really. It's not that serious. You will get as many lifetimes as you want. Don't take it too seriously. We're just here temporarily. Go out, we come back. You will do this so many times. You can choose what to do, who to be. Don't take it too seriously. It's a game. Have fun, Have fun. Be serious about having fun, Enjoy your life. Never lose the child in you. Do get angry. Let it use the anger to create art. Use the anger to learn more about yourself and to learn about why other people get angry and frustrated and whatever they feel. It's within your power. Nothing has to do anything to you. You could be stoic about everything. You could be stoic about death. People could be dying. You'd be like, you could be stoic about anything. But what's the point in that, right? So that's a deep question. You do want to feel your emotions. Don't ignore them. Understand them and feel them fully. If you get sad, cry your heart out. You get angry, be really angry and understand it. There are all ways to connect back to whatever it is that causes us those feelings. We get angry, it's a way of it's a genius biological mechanism. You get angry at someone, it motivates you to fight them or do whatever, confront them, I should say, so that you will find a way to get back together to finding love. That's the beauty of it, right? When we spoke about hatred, when you get sad, it's so that to get that emotion back, right? So to connect. So I get sad, and you see that I'm sad. That maybe it creates empathy in you, and then we connect and we speak, etc., etc. When you hurt your wife or whatever, and she gets sad, and you feel bad, so you talk, and you're like, what? And then you get to a conversation, and then you can fix it, and you can make her feel better, and make sure you don't do it again. That's the thing about emotions. It's supposed to bring us closer, not apart. And we're so numb these days that we escape emotions, and we run to distractions. That's the real problem. Instead of dealing with those emotions honestly, which is what you should do. So when you feel something, don't run from it. Don't smoke a cigarette. Don't go smoke a cigarette. That's emotion manipulation. Don't go and deal with it yourself, understand it, and then go and deal with the person that you felt that way, or maybe it's just yourself. But first fix yourself, then go and explain and try to understand and explain your side of it to the other party. That would be the smart way to go about it. Because not only you fix your problem, you grow and you feel, because you should feel. Don't run from your emotions. What makes this life so beautiful. It might be true only for this third dimension, but what goes up must come down, and the darker it gets, the lighter it can get. You have a spectrum, and it might be true for this dimension only, but that is our reality right now, right? We are focused, our consciousness is focused here, so that's all that matters. So even if you think this is just a simulation, which you could interpret it as, it doesn't matter. You should still have fun. You should still take it seriously, but joking, like humorously. Like, don't take it seriously, but take the fun serious. Know that nothing really matters when it comes down to it, except how you treat other people, how you treat yourself, and how true you are and honest, because that will bring everything else into place. And that goes back to know thyself. It all comes back to know thyself. So that's it for today. I will see you next time. I hope I gave you something to think about, brought you some value. I hope you have a good weekend. It's the weekend right now, and wherever you are, remember, we're all the same. We're all light. We're all love. Love yourself, then you can love everyone else. Namaste, motherfuckers. See you next time.